We brought in an expert. We brought in Peggy Walker-Barnes to talk to you, to calm you down, to talk you off the ledge, because she is an expert in organization, physically and mentally. And so right now, she's going to stand up here and give us some mental clarity. Please welcome Peggy Walker-Barnes.
I like being called an expert. That's kind of cool. I am Peggy Walker-Barnes, and I want to know from each of you, how many of you have ever eaten an elephant? How many of you have had to drink water from a fire hose? I am quite sure that at this point, that's how today feels, that you're getting a lot of information to try to digest. And I deal a lot with clients on overwhelm and too much stuff. And information can do the same thing. It can kind of clutter your brain where you just get stuck and paralyzed and you're not quite sure that you can move forward in any direction. So, here are a couple of tips. You might already know this, but it's nice to have this reminder, especially at this point in the day. Focus on the best social media outlet. Not every single one of these things are going to apply to your business. I think Wendy was talking a little bit ago about Twitter. You know, it's kind of a place I kind of go sometimes just because I have to, but most of my clients and my following are not on there. So I'll post something on there every now and then, kind of check in every now and then, but that's not where my people are. So only focus on the areas that will fit your business and your business needs. Who are you trying to reach, and what social media are they using? And you need to know that about your clients in order to do the best. Don't get 10 steps ahead of where you need to be. Too many of us try to look 3 months down the road or next week, or I need to do this, 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 and this. What is your next best step? Take all this information and look at it and decide what your next best step is to do. Not the next 10, the next best step. Prioritize your to-do list. Apparently I've got a lot of animal metaphors, but Eating the Frog is a book that I read years ago that is a great book about kind of doing the worst thing first. Kind of like eating the frog is really nasty and you really don't want to do it. But once you get it done and you kind of swallow it and you're done, you're kind of like, okay, thank God that's done. So that's kind of how your to-do list is. Go ahead and get some of the really yucky things out of the way first and then get it done. To-do list. Now, this is one of my little pet peeves about to-do list. And believe me, I am just as guilty as anybody else. But tomorrow you're going to get up and you're going to go do social media. That's like do taxes. Okay, what does that mean? Do something. Okay, do social media. Okay, but what does that mean? What's your next step under do social media? Do 10 posts for Facebook. Or figure out what I need to do for Twitter. Or look at Pinterest. So make your to-do list a lot more specific, because I deal with enough people to know that they're like, I never get anything done off my to-do list. I never get anything scratched off. And it's because most of the time it's too general. To do social media, do taxes is too general. So really break down your to-do list into really good action items that you get to scratch them off, and then they feel really good, and you feel like you've done something at the end of the day. And I heard Jeremy say this when I came in, but enlist help if you need it. Find the experts, because most of our learning curves are on a straight up angle at this point about things we need to learn and do. So enlist some help. Find people that already know how to do what you want to do and talk to them. Be realistic about what to expect of yourself. We all want to do all of this stuff really well and do our jobs too, and live our regular life, and be nice to our spouses and not kill our children. So we all want to do that. But be realistic about how much each thing and how much time everything's going to take. Don't overwhelm yourself with perfection, and don't overwhelm yourself with entirely too much to do. Break it down, focus on your biggest priorities. And last, and the hardest thing to do for me especially, since I got talks too much all the way through school, take some time to be quiet. Take some moments to clear your brain for just a minute. Turn off the TV, turn off the computer, turn off your phone, go into a little room, just somewhere where somebody can't find you for just a little while, and meditate or pray or think about some unicorns and rainbows. It doesn't matter. Just something that gets your brain to stop. Your brain needs rest, and you can't rest if you're always on the go and always thinking. So take a few minutes to reset, get yourself back kind of together, because a lot of times you'll find, and I need to buy these, but they're notes, aqua notes that you can use in the shower, because that's where most of my best ideas come. And then by the time I cross over the door, I have totally forgotten everything I thought. So, but just a lot of times you'll find that if you get quiet enough, you will have some of your best ideas, and you will be very clear about what direction you need to head. So take a breath today. Don't get too overwhelmed. Take notes, but go back and look at them later and figure out your next best step, and it will all be okay. Thank you.